Hey everyone, Nicola Light here, remembering back into our light, bringing in light codes galore and all of that wonderful stuff. If you're new to my channel, the way that I work is a little bit different to many. I ignite my inner wisdom, I ignite my remembrance through light codes, and these codes will come in between speaking English, and with these codes they will also help you remember as they work on the subconscious mind and working cutting through the amnesia to help you understand who you truly are. Now, I'm all about energy. I love my physical body, I love my mind, but I'm also loving my energetic field. And the more that we go into our energetic field, the more that we understand the journey of our ascension. And ascension is the rise in frequency and the upgrade of the human mind, or what we perceive ourselves to be, which is the ego. So we need to keep our ego in alignment with everything and allow it to sort of unpack what's going on, because the ego wants to keep us safe, or it might want to make us run from an experience or block ourselves from remembering. So, what is the subject today that I'm going to start to remember? It is about the remembrance of the blocks that we hold that disallow the flowing energy into our extremities of our hands. And so this is going to be a little playlist for you, which you may be finding that you might be finding some physical ascension symptoms that are affecting certain areas of the body. And there was a playlist that I did a little while back, which is like about the spinal column and back pain and stuff like that, and headaches. And from time to time, I sort of revisit all of these sort of details. And where I'm moving through my remembrance, I start to then go deeper into the reasons why the blocks are there in the first place. So the physical body holds an awful lot of energy that is entwined through time and space. It's entwined into the deep cellular structure of physicality, into the singular cell of the body, and it interacts with the form and the flow of energy moving through us that we perceive through our minds as being us being and identifying with that's Nicola there in the mirror, or whoever you may be looking back at yourself. And the identification of that is determined from our sight, our hearing, our taste, our touch, our smell. And through these senses of who we truly think that we are, it is an illusion to the actuality of who you are. Okay. Ela makion toto o kretent a kreteten van kretto ko o shma etwan van kretto gde in subakite de eta van krabakian tata esianageta. Now, what I really would love to encourage you all to be doing right now is allowing yourself to connect to the energy that you are more than the physical body, which is great, knowing about how to feed yourself, how to, water yourself, how to wash yourself, how to do all of the things that you're doing in your body. But also we could connection with the physical body to the energetic field of the bodies, which are the emotional body, the light body, and the mental body, and the energetic field, which moves far beyond that. But internally, when we work with the energy that is moving through us, through these chakra systems, through the meridian lines, we find ourselves sometimes having little ailments. And the ailments of the hands and the wrists and moving down from the elbow is quite common with many people. And you might perceive it to be a metacarpal syndrome or something like, I think that's what it's called. But just bear with me with my mind process, because my ego Nicola isn't really sort of up to speed with an awful lot of knowledge and intelligence from a learnt perception. So information comes through from higher realms of understanding. My interpretation of it is slightly limited with my ability to spell and also my language barriers. So bear with me with my little ego. But I'm not belittling the little ego. I actually love her to pieces. And she brings me much joy. And because she is me, okay, but I'm also more than that. And the intelligence that's coming down is a little bit more on the technical side of things, with to do with my hands. Now, when I first awakened through my journey with igniting my light codes, it started off with this particular hand, this one here, this one here, this one through the knowledge of how to bring energy in doing a Reiki course, whilst practicing, this hand activated. And during the process of the activation, I found myself sort of not being aware of what that hand's doing or even what I was doing. So I had no idea what was happening to me. And some of you may have actually find yourself starting to wiggle your fingers a little bit more, but there might be a sense of restriction within that energy flowing out that disallows all of this stuff coming in. And you might have seen those on my shorts, but I'm talking quite fast because I'm dealing with Arcturian energy, which is that technical side of my multidimensional aspects of self. And that sort of journey of really igniting these codex with inside of yourself will enable you to move the energy out through said extremities. Hands. Okay. Now, bear with me if you've not seen my videos before. My beautiful ability to draw will astound you. Okay, right. So we've got our little finger, as you can see, very, very lifelike. Ring finger, middle finger, pointy pinty finger, and thumb. This indeed is a superimposed version of an alien hand or an ET hand. And sometimes my hand actually feels like that. So maybe I'm drawing it lifelike. You never know. So we've got all of these lovely little joints in here and fingernails. I'm being really very authentic. Give me a minute. There's my hand. Honestly, it's beautiful. Okay, da. Elamakianta dasia, and again, I'm not getting a big thumbs up. Yes, it's very lifelike. Da. Da. Guyono tota arisia makiata dasia makiata. Vakarabisia madigrebakshia madigrefa. Isuktuku washimakiata naa. This is how we see our hand in another reality of being. Okay, so I've got my physical hand, and this energetic field of hand is moving on top of my hand, almost like a glove. So you could see this almost like a glove, and my hand sits within there. Okay, bear with me with this information that's coming through. So my hand, my actual hand, which is this, okay, is in this. This is in a different dimension. So when I close my eyes, when I'm in body, when I'm in my body, and I close my eyes, then I see this. I see this inside with my three eyes. Okay, my two eyes and my third eye. So the triangulation of in my third eye, when I close my eyes, I see this hand as being overlaid. It's like an overlay, okay, within this dimension. As I work in, I move through time and space. And within that field of energy, I'm downloading a multi-dimensional aspect. And with that beingness, that consciousness sits in the energetic field of my physical body and outside of my physical body. It's like an overlay that comes in as I pure channel the information that's coming forward, and the hand starts to move. Now, the hand starts to move independently from my knowledge of mind. Now, I can try and control my mind to control my hand so that I take ownership of my hand. But when I surrender to my multidimensionality, I start to then allow a beingness. Allow a beingness to transform and allow me to move my hands in such a way that I am completely unaware of what I'm doing to an extent, but that's a different subject. So when there is a blockage of that availability or that concept to not come through for me, there are many reasons why, and this is what this video is going to be about in more detail. Okay. There is you in many spaces of time and space, as we are a fractal of all that we are. Okay, and within those revolutions of frequencies of light, I think that's there is you being a fractal connecting to self. So you are in a different embodied state, in a different galaxy, different realm, different dimension, however you want to perceive it to be. And when you close your eyes to the reality, you shut down senses, a sensory perception of reality. But where there is an integration of self and a downloading of information and intelligence in a spark of wisdom of remembrance of who you truly are, we are connecting to all that we are through all time and space. But in all time and space, there may be an aspect of ourselves that holds a certain block within the system that disallow the integration of the energy to flow through the physical body and allow the integration of the download into the system of this physicality. Okay, so there's a little block over here that holds an issue with this hand. Okay, so this multi-dimensional aspect in time space holds an issue here. Okay, which is this. That can't activate within you until that gets sorted. So when we're doing healing through all time and space, it is a multi-dimensional aspect integration allowance, a downloading of that system to allow you to integrate it into your remembrance code, your remembrance of who you truly are through all time and space. We'll be able to download the data of this said beingness into allowing this codex to come forward. If you don't have a connection to that, then you're not going to be able to download it. So depending on the soul's journey, depending on where you're at as a soul fragmentation of completion of self, it depends upon what downloadable information you can achieve to a degree, but not. If you're choosing a path of a mission statement, which is your original template of being, you'll be able to download the data for that mission. If you want to be a candlestick maker upon the earth and going about your daily business, you won't be able to download the data because you didn't sign up for that mission. So it's like, I want to be a candlestick maker. Therefore, you're not probably going to be doing it because that's not going to be in your awareness for that particular incarnation upon this particular planetary system. But remember, in totality, we are the candlestick maker also, but you want to experience it from a different embodied state to allow yourself to be said candlestick maker. But if you are drawn to Light Codex through the hand activation, then you will find that within your statement of coming here, which is the original template of being, which is cutting through the illusion of who you are, will start to download the data of the hand starting to want to wiggle around. Okay? It's a natural process of the physical body to move the hands in expression of body language, which is a precursor to what it is that is your capabilities of doing. And indeed, you are also a being of light that also might want to manipulate things with creation, with pouring said wax into pots and stuff like that. Anyway, I digress. Thank you, back on track. Thank you. Now, when the head wiggles about a bit, I'm sort of course correcting myself and releasing energy that no longer serves me through my embodied state. It moves from the back of the neck up and it gives a little tweak. So you might see that also. You might also start to do that yourself. It's a releasing of the energy from the lower bodies through the spinal column, up through the neck, into the head unit to allow you to then remember who you are. Let's get back into this hand, please. Certain things that are blocking, let's give a little bit of a listing for an understanding, please, for mind. Understanding is mind, understanding is wisdom. Just please observe only my interaction. I'm also feeling actually a little bit of pain in the body here that my jaw is starting to show me. So we'll do another video on that if you're getting symptoms in the jaw, but it's starting to show itself here. Da, yeah, do dammo krete ismakiata do rebekiana da dasha. So through all time and space, we find ourselves having a sense of knowledge, and they're giving me a sense of mudra. Now, mudra is where we would place our fingertips to fingertips, and there's this ancient wisdom that we can tap into, which gives you a beginning remembrance, because we start to move the hands in a certain way. So mudras are like a simpler version of the activation of codex within. Okay. But the amplification of it will allow the body to move the hands in a certain way that bypasses the mind of understanding into the pure allowance of code, which is drawn into certain areas of the body. If you're coding yourself, okay, there is a light language activation to understanding course. If you want to take that, I've got that listed below, and I go into the activation of light language and what may block you, and then light language code. There's another course on that, and I've literally just uploaded my advanced light language course. So if you've not done those first ones, I wouldn't go straight into doing the advanced one, because it goes into a little bit more woo-iness of light language. So check those out. I'll put all the links below. Okay, that wish. Okay, that. Now, I remember, and they're just sort of flagging up to me, when I was bringing in my codes, first of all, there was a block within me that was from a past life. And it was like a gauntlet. It was like a big, heavy glove over the hand. So sometimes there might be something that is through time and space that is the issue, the time being in a past life, okay? And if there's an interaction with a past life, maybe a hand was chopped off, or like a slapping of the hand, or like you mustn't do that, don't wiggle your fingers about, you look a bit crazy. All of these things within a past life may influence soul fragmentation not being in place to activate the hand. There might be an implant in the hand that is information that might stop the activation. It might be a self implant, it might be an external implant, meaning you might have put the block in there to stop the hands from going because you're an amazing coder and you want to experience the human experience first before you then step into your mission work. There's a sort of many sort of layers within it, but what happens is that if it's not going to activate, the physical body starts to play up a bit, because it goes into almost like a sense of malfunction. And when the physical body starts to interact with it, and it starts to sort of like get sort of the feeling of not getting energy to the end of the fingers, then we assume it to be and identify with it as being a dis-ease within the body. We start to say, oh, we've got metacarpal syndrome issues, that we have issues with the weaknesses of our hands. And the interaction with the physicality of the body and the energetics of the body through all time and space will then create a sense of dis-ease within the hands, because you're not starting to express through the hand codex. So there's like a backup into the physical body itself, and you start to then get in things like traumas of holding too much onto too much stress, or so dakio no darkisi makiatan tokarabasi makiatan bankarabakiatorisi makioto, so like sadness of death into the knuckles, so within the joints of the body, and then we get then arthritis in the hands. So all of these sort of things happen with the backup of the system of the hands not being able to express themselves. And when we bring that energy into remembrance and filter through the heart, it moves through the shoulders, and there may be shoulder issues as a result of the hands being an issue. That if you've got a block within the hands and you're not going to be able to flush the energy through, then it backs up into the shoulder lines, into the heart. So all of this sort of upper body realm will be affected by you not pushing the energy out through your hands, meaning through the chakra here in the center of the palm. As you push the energy through, you can sort of see that sort of chakra sort of coming forward with the sort of power of it, and the fingers start to go sort of hard in its sort of format, and then you push the energy out through the meridian lines into the chakras of the fingers. And as that energy comes through, you can start to write with codes. And I've given it a little nickname of fire codes because it feels like there's fire floating out of my hands and coding into myself, because my codes are my codes. And as I share my codes and you draw upon the codes, you can piggyback on the codex. So you draw the codes in, and I present and you receive. Okay. So within the knuckles, it is a point where they start to click if you start to do encode. And also there might be sort of like a numbness here in the fingers that where it's not coming out of the fingertips. Okay, you might find that there's sort of pains in the knuckles here, and also the wrist line as well. So the wrist can also have issues of a weakness of wrist or an inflexibility of the wrist. Now my hands are really sort of very inflexible with that, but there's a physicality point of that, but there's also maybe something that I need to be releasing through the hands. I'm not sure in this now moment and conscious of the fact, but I just know that but more flexibility this way than this way. So it is that formulation of the construction with when you go inside of yourself to connect to the higher levels of consciousness as we run it through our central column of light. We're moving the energy down, splitting at the heart, moving through. So push that energy through to allow it to dismantle any blocks. And see within the mind's eye as you go into the third eye complex is that you're moving into different realms of understanding, that you're starting to see anything within the physicality of the body and then into the energetic body through time space. So we're going into the quantum field, and allow yourself to express yourself. If it feels like you want to pull energy out using your hands, or if you want to place energy inward, you may be more hands-on, you may be more in the energetic bodies. See where things sit with you, with the evolution of the understanding of the ascension symptoms within the body. Don't identify with, oh yeah, I've got arthritis in my finger. No, you don't. It is an illusion that you have. It is a dis-ease within the body. Push the energy through, allow the body to start to heal itself. It's as soon as we start to identify with something that it starts to perpetuate a cycle within itself, and then that identification comes into manifest, because we're such strong creator beings. We create our experience. And with that said, it's not easy. Trust me, there are things within my body that I can say, actually, that I've got this and this, and I identify with it. So I'm not saying don't, I'm just saying just try and push through that of mind that controls the physical body into preventing you from expressing through the hand. And with that lack of expression, you're then creating physical ailments within the physicality, and then start to, it starts to become an issue for you. Again, anything else? Okay, so we've got some codes for you to help you activate. So place your hands sort of just in front of your hands, of your face, and place both feet on the ground. And to just sort of feel that sort of sense of energy of pushing and pulsing the energy through as I bring the code in. So it feels like you're doing this, and it's like you're pushing against something, but there's nothing to push against. It's just air, but there is, but there isn't, but there is, but there isn't. So you're going to push that energy through using your breath as if you're the superhero, and you're going to. So we're going to push. Just push, and within your intentions of mind, I release anything through all time and space that no longer serves me, that is blocking the energy in my hands and just allow the arms to come in and just push and allow the fingers to wiggle. Now, it's very advanced in my case because I've been doing this for years. This is very normal to me. But in the beginning, you might be going, so don't worry about it. It is a journey within it. It is a remembrance is within it. It's an activation, an ignition within you. Okay, let's bring the code in. And just bring that central column of light. Be empowered, please. To receive, to receive, to receive. Yeah. So no judgment of the code, please, with mind. Pure acceptance. Yeah. So I'm just going for pointing finger right now. Yeah. Push the finger out. Push, push, push. And then the middle finger, da, 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 da. And then ring finger, da, 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 da. And then the little finger, da, 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 da. And then the thumb. And we do this on the other hand. We do it, just wiggle one finger at a time, just to get the fingers aware and give them a wiggle. Thank you. As they wiggle, please listen. And it feels like I want to talk into the hands again. So just focus on each hand and just scan the hands. Give yourself the permission for the body to activate, please. You may find that one hand is more of a teacher and the other one holds. So just allow yourself to feel into what the hands do for you from your own personal perspective, please. Please be empowered. And then allow the other hand to talk to the other hand. It sounds really crazy. I wish I was listening to this about 5 years ago. I would have gone, oh gosh, it's completely insane. Ego kicking in there. And just allow the hands to freely shake out. You might want to listen to that again and have a bit of a laugh over it. You may not. You may think, okay, let's find the hospital. Let's get that Nicola in the ward. Tie her up. Ooh, why did that come out? I don't know. Might be in somebody's past life experience. You might find yourself sort of like visualising yourself all tied up with your hands sort of like in a straitjacket, because some people might have sort of seen you in that in the past life, which is actually very true on some people's cases. So if that's you, please leave a comment and sort of see how that all has affected you. I do hope that this video has assisted, and because that sort of multi-dimensional aspect is very fast speaking, it's making me want to speak very fast. But it's all good. It's all good, isn't it? And if you feel into, with just adding in here, thank you, is that if you start to feel that sense of this energy overlay, you might feel that your hands are starting to feel like they're very long. And with that, it's almost like a shape-shifting experience into a dimensional field. And it's okay, it's very normal, so don't worry about it. And sometimes what you can also do, which I've done in the past, just to add in from an ego perspective, is that sometimes in certain lights, when you look at your hand and you transpose it up and you look at it with a certain light, you can actually see the hand shift in through sight as well as the feel seeing into it, which I've done a couple of times, and even seen that I had just 3 fingers, which is really exciting when you actually do and you think you're going completely crazy yet again. But you're starting to remember. Okay, don't restrict yourself with your mind. Push through it. Allow your ego to settle into this inner standing and wisdom that you're starting to ignite to remember who you are. Okay, so I will make this into a playlist, and so this one's about hands. And as I said, check out all the links below if you want to work with me and get a little bit more into one-to-one understanding of what your codes are doing. Then look at nicolalight.com, and I have mentoring sessions that you can book, and deepening into yourself with going deeper with some like language codes to activate and clear all time and space. I'm your girl if you want to know all about it from my understanding of mind. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to let that settle. Okay, just take a deep breath out. Beautiful. Okay, take care, everyone. See you all very, very soon.